Hi everyone, in today's video I'm going to turn this faded old yard sale find into a cute and colorful plant stand for my garden. And I'm also going to show you how easy it is to propagate succulents. I was driving to the grocery store and I saw this huge yard sale down the street from my house. Oh my goodness, so many fun things. So look what I found. This cute little yellow, what I think is a plant stand. That's what I'm going to use it for anyway. So anyway, I'm going to take that home and maybe respray it or repaint it. Put it in my yard, of course. So the first thing I'm going to do is wash off the plant stand with some mild soapy water just to remove any dirt, debris, cobwebs, or greasy fingerprints. That way, when I do paint it, the paint will stick much better. Then I'll use my garden hose and rinse it off. Next, I will shake off as much water as I can, and then I'll use a clean dish rag and wipe it down real good just to make sure it's nice and dry. After I hand dry it as best as I can, I will place the stand in the sun just to make sure all the water evaporates before I paint it. I've painted things in the past that weren't quite dry because I do get impatient, and what I've noticed is the paint doesn't stick. So I'm going to make sure this is 100% completely dry before I spray paint. And feel free to laugh at my socks and shoes. You won't hurt my feelings. Trust me, I laugh at myself all the time. Now that the stand is all clean and dry, it's time to give it a brand new color. I decided to go with this beautiful teal green, or turquoise, if that's what you want to call it. I think the bright color will look so pretty in my garden. And now the fun begins. There's nothing I love more than putting a fresh new coat of colorful paint on something I found at the thrift store or a garage sale. I love turning trash into treasure. So let the painting begin. Here's a fun fact about this plant stand that you probably don't know. I've actually had it for over a year. Yep, it's been sitting in my garden for the longest time. In fact, that video clip that I filmed when I was at the yard sale buying it, I filmed that over a year ago when I started my YouTube channel. I just wasn't sure what color I was going to paint it or what I was going to do with it in my garden. So that's why it never got done until now, and I couldn't be more thrilled. It's finally getting done. And after the paint's dried, I can't wait to show you where it's going to go. In case you're wondering why I'm putting those little pebbles on this paper, well, that's because the wind started to blow, of course, my luck. So I was trying to find something to hold the paper down. I was going to use a spoon or a cup or, I don't know. I just grabbed the rocks because they were handy and nearby. And that paper I'm using is just an extra remnant piece of wrapping paper that I didn't want to throw away. I knew I would have use for it sometime, so today it's being used as a tarp. Also, I use old dog food bags as tarps. They're wonderful. You just cut them down the seam and open them up, and they make really good tarps to use for art projects. That's why I never throw anything away. Okay, now that the paint has dried, it's time for the fun stuff, putting little plants on top of the stand. I'm gonna stick with succulents for my plant stand because succulents don't require a lot of water. They don't get too big, so I know they're not gonna outgrow that area. Plus, they're just fun. And I have a lot of succulents in my garden, so I don't have to go out and buy a whole bunch. I can just take cuttings from what I already have and save money. However, I was at Ace Hardware yesterday. Maybe you already saw the video, and I did buy these two pretty purple leafed, they're called Echeverria Pearl von Nunberg, and they're my absolute favorites with succulents. And I just think the purple leaves will look so pretty in the white containers on the teal plant stand, so that's why I chose those. And I also bought some special cactus and succulent mix. This stuff isn't cheap, but it's really, really worth it. I've used regular soil for cactus and succulents as well, and it's fine, but I decided just to treat myself. You know, I work so hard and we all deserve a special little treat, right? Well, succulent soil and fluffy potting mix is like a luxury to me. I know that sounds so crazy. I know I'm weird, but it was a special treat. I think I would rather get a fresh new bag of fluffy soil than a Starbucks coffee drink. Okay, I'm gonna pot these up now. I know the video was fast when I potted up that first succulent, but I'm gonna do it again one more time just to show you that nifty little trick I did. Take the plant out of the pot and set it aside. Next, I'm gonna stick the container inside the big container that the plant is going to go in. That way, I'll know how much dirt to remove. See, once it's in there, now I know my plant will fit. So then what I do is just stick the plant right in the little mold that I made. Then I just backfill it with the soil. And then I just go around and press down with my thumb and my fingers to get the soil nicely packed on the sides. Now, if you'll notice, I only have one more succulent that I got at Ace Hardware. However, I have these two containers and the silver one. So what am I going to do? I'm certainly not going to go to the store and buy anymore. So I'm going to go take some cuttings off of my existing succulents. I'll find a nice big succulent that I know can spare a baby. Maybe I can separate one, or maybe I'll just take this one. I think it'll look much prettier on my new plant stand rather than in this area. Let's see, what else can I grab? That's the fun thing about succulents. Oh, okay, look at this one. I can take this baby off of the mother and give it a new home. Don't have to spend any money on anything. When I have free plants right at my fingertips. It's so easy to propagate succulents. All you do is cut the baby plant off. It'll take a couple weeks for this to scab over or dry out. So what I'll do is after I fill my other container with soil, I'll just place it in there. It'll dry out while it's in the dirt. It's very important that I don't water this for a couple weeks. Otherwise, it'll get mushy and rot. I'm gonna wait a couple weeks till it scabs over and it starts forming little roots. Then I'll be able to give it a light watering. And if you notice, there's another baby right down here. If my scissors can't reach underneath, that's okay. Usually they'll just break right off. So I'm just gonna, there we go. See, that broke right off. And look it looks like it's already forming roots. Isn't that just a miracle? So this baby wanted to leave the nest and become its own adult plant. So this, I could give it a little spritz of water right away because it already established roots. And that's how I get more plants. See, and there's another little baby underneath there forming. There's two babies right here. So I'll just leave this mother plant alone and let it continue to multiply, and I'll pot up the plants that I have. When you transplant succulents from one container to another, don't be scared, you're not going to hurt it. Just gently, look at that. And you can clean off all the dirt. I'm going to remove some of these leaves. There, I'm left with a nice little floret. Now I can just put this in the new container, or I can cut it. I'm going to leave the roots on because this will be able to soak up water. I think it needs another one about this size to go right here. So I'm gonna go steal a succulent from another area. See, I'm just gonna pull it up. Just gonna scratch open a little area and set it right down and backfill it with some soil. I think that looks much better, better balanced. Yeah, I'm really happy with that. There, so I'll just stick this right here. That will make roots and it will get bigger, and I think that looks really nice. I'm only going to water the succulents that have roots, and the ones that are new that still have yet to form roots, I will wait a couple weeks before I water those. And then after a couple weeks, when all of my succulents have roots, I'll water them maybe once a week. Succulents don't like a lot of water, so don't love them to death. So I'm really happy the way this turned out. I love my $10 garage sale plant stand. I think the turquoise was a really nice color, and the MAKEOVER Pearl von Nunberg succulents look really pretty. The color contrasts are just so beautiful. I think the purple, the white, and the teal. I'm very happy with the way that turned out. Thanks for watching.